do their thing, Broderick Jones. Now, come on now. Look, I don't want to be the bearer of bad of any of that, but Broderick Jones, you got to be better than this. You have to be better than this. And we just got on Dan Moore for effort. Maybe this is an effort play. But you see, he steps inside and then just gets dominated inside. You got to have more power than that. Just because you're stepping inside, okay, that's fine. Where's the punch here? Like, he has no punch. I know people are going to say, well, his right arm is hurt. We can't allow that to be the excuse. Inside zone, I understand you still have to have a punch. You still have to. And if you got to do something, you can't get thrown into the hole. You know, and this play gets blown up because Broderick Jones gets blown up into the hole. There were other breakdowns everywhere, but that's the main foul up. The inside step, he does those things right, just doesn't bring his feet, doesn't bring any power to this play. And, hey, guys, this is the National Football League. If you're not going to bring any power, then you're going to get whipped. All right, now let's get into some of these holding plays on Broderick Jones. This is the first holding play. It's 12 personnel. They have a double team here. This is why I think Broderick Jones, he's hurt. And I've said that he's hurt, but I'm just not giving him the excuse. This is how you know he's hurt. Look at this double team with him and James Daniels. They knocked this guy initially off his damn feet. Look at that. Look how far they knock him off on the initial block. Last year, Broderick Jones takes that guy and runs him into the ground 4 yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. He just drives him back 4 yards. But he obviously doesn't have the power. Then the guy gets off the block and he has to hold him. Look, you all can say it's nitpicking. He holds him. He does. I don't think the guy makes the play per se because he's falling down, but it's a hold. Look at that. He goes to get off and he holds him. That's how I know Broderick Jones is hurt. Again, I don't give him the excuse because if you're hurt and you're playing bad, get off the field. You're not helping the Steelers by being out there and playing bad. You know, nobody blames anybody for being hurt, but you can blame them if they're out there and they're not playing well. You can't give them the excuse, oh, well, he's hurt. It's okay to play bad. No, it's not. It's not okay to play bad. I'm sorry. And he does hold on this play. He does hold. James Daniels gets off, and they get outstanding movement at the point of attack. Like I said, they knocked the guy off his damn feet. But the Broderick Jones that we saw last year buries this guy. This year, it's a holding penalty. Okay, this is Broderick's next holding penalty. This one's tough. 12 personnel, but it's a hold. I mean, we can call it nitpicking if we want to, but he grabs him. Now, it's tough because he doesn't know that Fields is running out of the pocket. But look initially why he runs out of the pocket. Look at his initial pass set. Look at that. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. Fields runs out of the pocket because Broderick Jones is getting pushed back. Again, it kind of goes back to the guy's injured and he doesn't have a punch. Look at his punch here. He just catches. And if you're going to catch, that happens to you in the National Football League. I'm sorry. I mean, if you're going to catch guys coming off the edge, you're going to get pushed back. Well, Fields has to scramble because of that. It all starts with the initial pass set. First of all, he's high. That's number one. And it is a hold. Now, granted, it wasn't much of a hold. It didn't last long. And that guy's not catching Justin Fields whether he holds him or not. But he does grab him. So this officiating crew, we already been through this. That they call, it seems like they call every holding known to mankind. That's their reputation. It didn't seem like the holding penalties were even, although they were call it on Denver as well. But it seemed like every big play the Steelers had is coming back for holding. But this one was a hold, and Broderick didn't do a good job. We just can't say he did a good job on this play because initially he gets pushed back. That's where the problem comes, people. I don't blame him for the hold running outside. That's going to happen from time to time. But be in better position, and none of that even happens. That's where the problem is. None of that even happens. Jaylen Warren bails out Dan Moore, and James Daniels bails out Broderick. We'll start with Broderick. Look, you're in position, but that's been Broderick's problem all along, is that he doesn't anticipate counter moves. He's in good position, but he's almost like, okay, I'm here. and I'm going to block you. You can't do anything but just get blocked. He doesn't anticipate a counter. He doesn't anticipate the spin. I get it. The guy's really good. I'm not telling you Khalil Mack's not good, but that's been Broderick's problem. You see his feet, they get crossed because the guy does a counter move, does a spin, and he's like, oh, whoops. It's almost like he doesn't anticipate it at all. Great job by James Daniels being there to help, because if he's not, this play's in trouble. I did just tell you that right now. If he's not, this play's in trouble. Now, I put this play in here because I don't know what Broderick Jones is doing here. Look at him lined up. He just doesn't block the guy. Now, it's a good play by Justin Fields and Freiermuth. He's fighting and gets called back because of illegal formation. But I just don't understand what he's doing. The protection is sliding left. You slide left. The guy's right in front of you. You just put a hand there and move. It's almost like he didn't think the tight end was going to go out for a pass. You know it's a pass play. Well, since you know it's a pass play, what are you expecting? Come on, man. He's got to be better than this. He's got to be better than this. You know those guys are going out in the route. It's not good by Broderick there. Man. And you know he knows that it's his fault. He turns around and he's like, oh, maybe I should have hit that guy. Look at him here. He slides left, puts a hand out, and then he turns. He's like, oh, whoops. Yeah. Come on, man. All right. So we got 1st and 15 from Pittsburgh's 41. We're in 11 personnel. If Jones blocks the right guy, if Broderick blocks the right guy here, we got a play. Step out and go block the guy. He points out there. He sees him. Go block him. And he doesn't. He just stands and catches. Well, when Spencer Anderson stands out, he's like, hey, man, what are you doing? Because he goes out to block the guy, and Broderick doesn't. It's that kind of stuff. And again, so you see Najee, it's like, well, what do you expect him to do? Like I said, I think I may have been a little bit too hard on Najee this game. He still doesn't have the explosion that we want, and I don't disagree with the Steelers not paying him. You know, he could have hit this a little harder going downhill, but what's he supposed to do here? The guy comes unblocked off the edge. It's not a whole lot you can do. The first play that we have going on here, 2nd and 2, Pittsburgh 33. It's a 4-yard gain. We're in 12 personnel here. Look, let's start with Broderick Jones. What the hell is he doing? Like, what's he doing? I know a lot of people they get on me because I get on Broderick Jones, but can you all explain to me, like, what he's doing on this play? Like, he goes the wrong way. He's pointing. He's talking. But what's he doing? Unbelievable. Oh, and his guy is the one that gets in and makes the play. Look, this is a good gain. It's a 4-yard gain. So it's not like the Steelers didn't move the football here. It's a good gain. But I don't know. I think, first of all, Pat Freiermuth's got to be more physical at the point of attack, but he kind of is what it is when it comes to blocking anyway. We know that Dan Moore and Darnell Washington do a good job, good double team, big push there, climbing up to the next level. But I just can't get over what Broderick does. It's absolutely unbelievable. When everybody doesn't at least do their job or go the right way, this is an 8-9 yard gain if Broderick Jones just steps inside. Look at McCormick and look at Frazier and what they're doing. They're engaged on their guys 6, 7, 8 yards downfield. If Broderick Jones literally just steps with his left foot and get in the way, it's another 3 or 4 yards, man. Oh, Broderick Jones was bad, and this is not me killing him. This is going to be a reoccurring theme. Broderick Jones played a horrific football game, the worst that he's played, even worse than that Broncos game. Now, this play right here might have been a play that was the most maddening play of all of them for me in this football game. Broderick Jones literally doesn't do anything. He doesn't hit anybody. And the rest of the offensive line is excellent. I mean, look at Washington out there. Him and Van Jefferson are getting after their guys. They're engaged with their guys. And then you look at Broderick Jones. Again, Look at Broderick Jones. He does nothing. And his guy makes the play. It's and Najee's looking around like, what the hell, man? Will you block him? This is a 3-yard gain that could have been 10. Because you look at the Steelers, you look at them, they're blocked. They're on men. You look at Mason McCormick here. Look what he does here. He reaches his guy. He's got his guy turned. He's out of the play. You know our man, Zach Frazier. You know what he's going to do. He's staying engaged with his guy. Him and Isaac. Frazier goes up to the second level. Isaac, he's got his guy. It's like he reaches. Dan Moore goes on the backside. This is a 10 to 12-yard running play right here. And look at it. Najee's going to cut it up. Now, granted, Najee could have cut it up a little sooner and seen what was happening a little bit quicker, but we know it. We know about the vision. But even look at Connor Hayward. I mean, look, these guys are blocked, but Broderick Jones doesn't hit anybody. He literally doesn't hit anybody. Again, I said this yesterday on a report card. I'll say it again today. You can start saying Broderick Jones is a bust if you want to. I'm not going to push back. I pushed back earlier. I'm not pushing back anymore. And I'm not saying that he has to stay a bust. I'm not saying that he won't get better. I'm not saying he can't get better. But from what we've seen right now, if this guy was on the Ravens or the Browns or the Bengals, we would be calling him a bust. So let's just be honest about what we see, Steeler fans. At this point in time, he's a bust. First one we got here, 1st and 10, Pitt 40. It's a 13-yard game. We are in 12 personnel, right up the gut. This is the first running play of the game. Outstanding up the middle here, double team by our man Frazier and Mr. McCormick. You take a look at this again, man. Just they knock this guy completely off the ball, get up to the second level. Great double team. Isaac is good on his. Let this guy seat through the last, but you know what? And maybe it's a hold. I don't know. Don't care. It counted as a pancake for me. Dan Moore Jr. does a good job here as well. But look at our man, Broderick Jones. Come on, Broderick. Come on, man. Come on. Like, what's he doing? He doesn't hit anybody. And then he wants to, again, I talk about that false aggression at the end of the play. I'm like, the double team here with Washington, it's like you don't get off on the snap, then you don't hit anybody. I don't know, man. I don't know. Darnell Washington has a pancake, though. 13-yard gain here, people. You know, it's just I don't know what Broderick's doing here, but I'll take the 13-yard gain any day of the week. Look at that hole. Not the best game of the season by Najee by far. By far, people. Let's go to the next. Look at our man Broderick here. Whew. Yeah, that one's bad. That one's bad. He goes to reach. Crosby goes underneath. He barely even touches him. And again, I get it. Crosby is a handful, man. Absolute handful. But you got to be able to touch the guy. I mean, he basically holds him. They just don't call it. And he still makes the play. So, yeah, you got to be able to do better. That's a bad rep by Broderick Jones there. Just a terrible, terrible rep. Now, McCormick, he goes play side. Can't really do much because Crosby comes down and hits his guy, so he can't reach. This is just not a good play by the Steelers. Again, the backside is kind of the backside. It is what it is. But, yeah, it's just Broderick Jones here and Pat Freiermuth. Darnell Washington gets out there. Got to get a little bit more movement by Van Jefferson, him, and Darnell on that double team. But sometimes the other guys are just better than you on a certain play. Freiermuth got to give a little bit better effort. You got to at least touch the guy. You just got to touch him. And I get it. The play spills out quicker than what he's anticipating going upfield, but go attack him and don't wait for the guy to come to you. Go attack him. 1st and 10, Vegas 46, 12 personnel here. This is kind of what Najee does here on this one. Inside zone. It's just power. Just power by Najee. Just power by Najee. Just not going down, not going down, not going down. That's kind of what Najee's doing here. Look at him here. Look, he doesn't stay close enough to his guy on the backside. Him and Broderick don't do anything on the backside. He lets his guy go, but I think Broderick's supposed to cut that guy off, and he doesn't do anything. I'm sure it's an inside zone, so you got to have a little bit of a double team. But look at Broderick. He doesn't. It's almost like he doesn't know the snap count. He's asking, and then he doesn't get to the double team, and then him and Washington don't get to the double team on the backside. They don't get anything cut off on the backside, and that's a problem. And their guys are the first people that make the play there. But yeah, neither of them get a cutoff block on the inside zone. But I think it's got to be a double team. Everybody come down. Everybody come down. Crosby gave it away. He tells you what he's going to do. You just got to see it. Now you got to block it. And they don't. But this is just Najee being Najee here. All right. Next one, we got 3rd and 24 from the pit 46. It's 11 personnel. I mean, it's a 12-yard gain here. But let's take a look at this. Look at Broderick Jones on this play, people. This is lazy, no punch. Come on. And I know it's quick game. I get it. But that was still almost a sack in quick game. Broderick Jones. Come on, man. Come on. This is what we're talking about. This is unacceptable. This is a poor rep. Just a lazy rep. No punch at all. Didn't move his feet at all. And I know what people are saying. Hey, it's a quick game. And Broderick's probably thinking the same thing. Hey, he's going to have the ball out of his hand quick. I don't have to do anything. Well, he didn't do anything. He doesn't do anything. It's terrible. It's terrible. Just a poor rep. And could have been a sack. Now, look at Jaylen Warren here. He misses his guy on the blitz. He goes to run out of there. And, woo, again, if it's not quick game, Russell Wilson's getting sacked because Jaylen Warren literally does not block his backer. So he blitzes, and he's busy trying to get out in a pass pattern. You got to protect first. Backside is good, or maybe the front side of this is good with Moore, Siamalu, and McCollum. All that's good. But this one, come on, man. I get it. It's 3rd and 24. We're just trying to gain some yards so we can punt or get a field goal. I understand all of that. But the bottom line here, Broderick Jones. Those are the type of reps that we just cannot have. What if Russ has to hold the ball an extra second or an extra half second? If he's got to hold an extra half second, this is a sack on both fronts. Jaylen Warren not picking up his guy and Broderick Jones just being absolutely lazy. Just a terrible rep by Broderick here, man. So we're 1st and 10 from the Giants 12, 1-yard gain, 12 personnel. They're in a bare front, so they got us all covered. But Broderick here, man, if he just keeps driving his feet, his first initial steps are okay. He's got a 4-eye, which means the guy's on his inside shade. So it's inside zone away. But if he just keeps driving his feet here and stays engaged, he's okay. But on the contact, he's high. The guy gets into his chest and is able to discard him, which leads it to a 1-yard play. I know a lot of you guys think I'm hard on Broderick. I'm not hard on Broderick. I'm just telling you what I see. And this is what we see. McCormick here, good wash. Good wash. I would love to see a little by Pruitt. I would love to see him be more physical at the attack, at the point of attack, because he motions or shifts into being the fullback and the lead blocker here. And the Steelers did a lot of this kind of going backside, flowing one way, bring the fullback backside and come back in. He fights it, but Broderick's got to do a better job there. If he does a better job there, this is Jaylen Warren one-on-one with the safety, and I'm going to bet on Jaylen every time for a touchdown here. Just got to do it. Van Jefferson gets down inside, cuts off the backside. I don't know. Like I said, I'm going to tell you what I see. I'm going to tell you what I see. And Broderick's got to do a better job. If he just continues to drive his feet, part of it, he's too high, doesn't come off physical enough. But sometimes it's just one guy. On this play, it was him. All right. So the very next play, 2nd and 9 from the Giants 11. We're in 12 personnel. This one gets called back. Broderick, face mask. I mean, let's just break down exactly what it is here. He gets off. He lets the guy get into his chest. That's the whole problem here. And we say that over and over and over again. The guy, he doesn't have punch. I don't want to hear about the arm injury. Punch the guy. He doesn't. You saw his hand placement. His hand placement is literally on the guy's outside shoulder, which means he's being controlled. He gets his shoulders turned because he's being controlled. And then when Russ has to, get out of there because Dexter Lawrence just completely runs over Ryan McCollum, let's not forget about that happening on the play. He grabs the guy's face mask. It's ridiculous. But Ryan McCollum, this is bad. But the reason it's bad, look at McCormick. McCormick, you got to help him, man. You can't just put a hand on Dexter Lawrence. Go help him. Go help block that. No linebacker was coming. You're looking outside at nothing. All you have to do, turn your head. Nobody's coming. Go back inside. You don't do that, and you let your guy get completely run over. Now, I would say, McCollum, you got to be way stronger at the point of attack because this is bad. I don't know if Jaylen Warren trips him or not. I'm not sure. It looks like he might have, but he was going backwards anyway. That is not good technique at all. You got to get lower. You got to get leverage. But more importantly, McCormick, you got to help him. You got to help your man out. You can't just let him get bored. This is early in the game, too. You can't just let that happen to him. But that all the way around. On the backside is fine. But on the front side, yeah, we get a bull rush. Our center gets run over. Our right guard doesn't help him. And then Broderick grabs a face mask because he literally gets super, super lazy with his punch. Grabs a face mask because he's getting driven back. He's getting his shoulders turned. It's just bad football on this one. And it's too bad because, again, that's a good offensive play by Pickens and Russell Wilson, man. Next one up here, we got 1st and 10 from the Pitt 34. Little 11 personnel. We're doing toss left. I think Jalen misses this one here too. I think he misses this. Get a toss left. I think he's got an opportunity to press that one. And he goes outside. Look, Van Jefferson is trying to block a linebacker that's screaming downhill. So that's tough. But I think now it's a 4-yard gain, but I think if Jalen presses this one a little bit more up inside, I think he can get more here. If he goes right off of Darnell Washington and Dan Moore, because those two have a crazy good double team block. Shoulders are square. They seal off that edge. I think if he presses it, now you could say the linebacker's there and he's just going to ragdoll Jefferson. Well, he ragdolls him anyway. So I think if he presses up inside there, I think he can get more. He ends up going outside and running into the backer. There's just a ton of movement by Darnell Washington and Dan Moore. Dan cuts his guy off, doesn't let him get out the back door. I think it's a good play by the Steelers there. This is a real good play by those two up front. Isaac and McCollum, they got a great double team to the backside. Now, you guys are going to say, hey, look, I've said this over and over again. I'm being too hard on Broderick. I'm just going to let you watch what he does here, and then you tell me whether I'm being too hard on him. Just watch. And I won't say anything. And look whose guy ends up making the tackle. So again, hey, man, the play's away, Big B. Why are you being too hard on him? Well, guess whose guy made the play when the play was away from him? All because he just gave zero effort. I'll just let you be the judge. I'll let you be the judge. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. But speaking of is what it is, y'all see Mason McCormick here? He just locks his guy up. He just literally locks his guy up. He takes a step inside, and he doesn't let go. He locks this guy inside, boom, and nope, you're not getting to the play. Nope, you're not getting to the play. You're not getting to the play. You're not getting to the play. Good job. Again, I think Jalen missed this one, but that might be nitpicking. It's a 4-yard gain. I think it could have been an 8-yard gain if he presses it sooner. But again, Jefferson trying to block this linebacker, that's tough. That's tough.